There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin. Just the touch of your hand makes me tremble within. Love the smell of your hair.
Man, feeling well, man.
What's your name?
My name is Cardi Cornish.
And you a legend?
I'm a legend.
You're a legend here in Baltimore City. Where we at right now?
We live in the 17, Pennsylvania Avenue. The legendary Pennsylvania Avenue.
Man, the last time I saw you here, you were doing something just across the street here. What were you doing?
Oh yeah, I had some food left over from an event. We brung it out. We fed a couple of people, man.
Why you do that?
Nice soul food.
Why you do that?
Man, the love that God has shown me in Christ, man, it overflows. That's how it overflows.
That's right.
We got more than we can use.
Already was high within San Antonio, Winchester community, but the age group is getting younger. Children under the age of 18 being murdered in San Antonio has a high peak right now. So our goal is to catch the children.
And as time goes by, I know I'm in a
You going hard, man. You going hard on that man today.
So what do you think, Mr. Mayor? You got manufacturing right here, helping our young people despite all of the challenges in the city of Baltimore, right here on North Avenue.
No, it's really about the growth. Just knowing being there when they were down in Port Covington and seeing how far it's grown. Like you said earlier, like getting the Sorbet, where we got the Sorbet at the beginning, but now being able to, when I'm at Cannon Yards, get it, or anytime I'm down at Harbor Place to get it, and folks to not even know, but they gonna know now that like this is coming from young people in West Baltimore, right there in West Baltimore on North Avenue, where they think nothing great comes from, but they can see it in what the young people do.
It's the things that you do.
Here on the bank of Mississippi, now right there, French Quarter Mathis. A beautiful town, New Orleans, just leaving Algiers, which is an update 10 years since Katrina. The news.
It's a smile on your face. And as time goes by, I know I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place.
All right, y'all, this is what I came to New York for. Besides the Black Wall Street Awards, we're going in here and get some of this real good jerk chicken. Johnny Glover, out.
Your skin, just the touch of your hand makes me tremble within.
But we need to feed our loved ones. DOTS needs to rescind this package policy program so that our loved ones are able to eat every day in that filthy facility that
we have some stars in the building.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover, in it to win it for the long haul, baby. It's the end of the year, baby. It's all coming to a close. 2024, we're about to welcome 2025. I hope that you are taking it in stride. A little cap and cup going on. Oops, there we go. Go copping. Nothing like those first sips of coffee in the morning. All right. Oh, there goes Pharaoh, security guard. Make sure you get a copy of Unapologetically Black if you don't have one. That's the first book, 2015. Here's the second book, I Am Black Wall Street. It came out in 2021. And then this last summer, Journalpreneur, the intersection of journalism and entrepreneurship, i.e. bemorenews.com. Just wanted to take a moment and wish you all a powerful new year that's coming in. We're still in the land of the living. So, matter of fact, we should just thank God. So let's just take a moment whatever your faith, and share some gratitude. Gracious Lord, make us truly thankful for another day, another week, the end of another year. We ask that you bless this show. We pray that we help empower, we help enlighten, we help inspire somebody out there. And we promise to give you all the praise and all the glory. In your name, amen. All right. Yes, my daddy said, always thank the Lord. It's good to be here with you. So let's go on over and see what, sit up, Larry. And cut your lights on. Go with our political expert here. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
Doing good.
Happy New Year, and thank you for the prayer. I always appreciate that.
Well, you put up a prayer every morning, don't you?
Yes, sir. I've come through a lot. God has brought me through a lot. And I have to acknowledge he's number one in my life. Oh, he brought me through.
There you go.
You know, as the songwriter say, I can be dead sleeping in my grave, but God Almighty made the enemy behave. So I have to give him some praise.
What part of town you from?
West Baltimore. Over here between West Baltimore, down North Avenue, between a lot of time down there by North and Warwick, North and Pulaski, down by the avenue. You know how we flow. We just ride.
Yeah. Moreland Avenue.
Moreland Avenue. That was at Bacon Thomas for a long time.
Yep. Bacon Moreland.
Yep. Right there.
What was our recreation center?
Right here. What's the name of that? Bentlow Rec. They changed it to Troy Hill.
Ain't no Bentlow Rec.
Huh?
Bentlow Rec down the bottom.
No, I'm talking about right here, Baker and Bentlow. But I wasn't a person at that point in my life. I wasn't going to the Recs too much.
Easterwood.
Easterwood. But they changed it to Troy Hill. Troy, what was his name? To the senator.
Senator Troy Braley.
Troy Braley. He used to live right there on Baker Street, a couple of blocks away. He used to live right there between Moreland and Warwick. Good man. Good man. I remember a little bit.
Oh, you remember a lot.
All right. All right.
Larry?
Huh?
You like 66?
68. Be 69 this year coming in. And as Marvin Sapp say, I never would have made it without God. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. That's a blessing. You know, Donnie, when we sat here, we all came through Baltimore as Black men and women, and we all had our experiences, but we survived. And so now we're raising children and grandchildren, and we're like a shepherd trying to keep them away from some of the things that we've been through. And we know in this city, you don't even have to do anything and you can become a victim. So we're trying our best to protect them and lead them in the right direction. I was just telling my nieces and nephews yesterday, we had a little family gathering. Those who go to college and get a degree stand a better chance of surviving. You know, one thing they don't look at, but I think we look at, they're competing with these Mexicans coming under the fence. They're competing with them for jobs for tomorrow. And, you know, everything is stacked in their favor. We see them coming more and more in all our neighborhoods. We see them walking to the laundry. We see them catching the bus. I'm not saying they're bad people, but what I'm saying is we're competing with them. Our children, our grandchildren are competing with them for jobs for tomorrow. And they got the edge. You know, healthcare, I try to steer them in the direction of healthcare and education. I'm from a family that had a lot of educators. Look like the youngins are getting away from it. They're going more to healthcare, but I'm just want them to be able to make a decision where they can take care of themselves and go into the future. You know what I mean?
You think we in competition with the Latinos?
Positive, absolutely positive. You're telling,
I would say I'm in competition with myself.
well, that's a good thing because you set goals and reset them. But you're a different thing. You're a media person and whatever else you do. But these Latinos are coming and they're everywhere.
You saying it like they don't belong here.
I'm not saying they don't belong here because I use some of the last.
Like white people just get a pass.
I think some of them get a pass. I mean, if we be honest and look in the mirror and tell it.
Hold tight. Because a lot of these Latinos are coming from situations where drug cartels have taken over their homeland or they've been threatened out. They're dealing with sex trafficking. I mean, a lot of these people are dealing with traumatic situations. Not that we aren't, but I see them willing to do work that we used to be willing to do.
Well, let's look at that. Okay.
Work that we are not willing to do. And now we want to point fingers. Oh, they taking our jobs. Do we want to work?
I want to believe that some of us want to work, but don't have it.
You a school teacher. You up in the thick of it. Do we want to work? Because it seems to me, listen, it's no time for making excuses. I don't care who is out there. Right. I don't care who is in the race. If I'm applying for a job and there are 67 applicants, I don't care about none of them. I need to know what I need to do.
That's honest. That's the truth.
And if I develop my skills and I believe in the good Lord above, I'm going to work. I'm going to work regardless. I'm going to find me some work or make my own work.
Okay, Donnie, let's talk about the old neighborhood. Go down Monroe Street and Pressman. It used to be that company. I can't think of the number. They still down there. They do all the street work. I remember talking. The
gravel company.
The gravel company. They do the asphalt. They do the streets. I remember telling people, say, hey, look, man, find out where the job is. You just show up, be there. If they start at 7, you be there 10 minutes to 7. And you just tell the man, look, let me just sweep up for free until you find something. You know what I mean? And now you go down there, and I'm not hating on them for it, but most of those jobs are the Spanish, the non-skilled labor jobs. Most of them got it. And a lot of us
want to work a lot of times.
Well, and then sometime we will, as a people, we will go to the Latinos or the South Americans or whatever you want to call them for home improvement because they give us a better price. Where
they used to. That reputation is changing because the longer you stay in America, the more Americanized you get.
Yes.
The longer you stay in America, the more Americanized you get, where the first generation is hungry, the second and third generation is job bougie.
They are. And if you look at the cars, they're getting new cars. They're dressing different. The girls are dressing different. You'll see them everywhere. You see them in the casinos. You see them in the markets. You see them everywhere. They're living the dream. And not only that, we're seeing Latino stores, restaurants, so they're home, and churches and glaciers. And they're building their community. And it's not just like we're going to say, hey, they're in Southeast Baltimore. No, they're everywhere, every neighborhood. And do I hate on them for it? No, trying to make a better way. No, we believe in trying to do things to get ahead. You know what I mean? But they must have read the American book 101. This is how you make it. You show up You have a good attitude and you go to work. You know what I mean? And we see them. They got trucks, they got cars. They're doing some of the things that we want to see some of our neighbors do, other than get ankle bites. Huh?
Are there employment opportunities out there for people?
I believe it is. I haven't been looking for no jobs. I would get community alerts.
There are jobs out there, and if you need a job and you can't find one, call me, because I can help you get a job.
Okay, well, I got one, so I'm not looking.
I mean, people in the audience. I know you, man, you got your own business, man. Stop playing.
Yes, but what I say, let me say this, Donnie, I believe in you, and anybody that's listening, if he tell you he can get you a job, he can get you a job. And if you want to work, or your niece, your nephew, your children want to work, call them. Give them a shot.
Nobody a reference. Let me tell you, I don't give you my blood relation. I'm not putting my name on. You got to prove it to me.
I'm not going to coach you.
I'll tell you where to go.
Right.
But don't ask for no reference.
No, we got to know them. And every time we think we know somebody, we don't. We say, man, no, but we send you in the right direction.
It's very slim.
Yeah, but you can send them in the right direction. They can fight for themselves.
I tell you to call. Yeah, but I don't know about putting my name on because people switch up. Blood relations, non-relations, no.
Well,
you know why? Because when I put my name on it, I gotta know that I know that I know that I know.
You put ownership. You're saying this person is of good character, they're a hard worker, and they have integrity. So everybody, we don't always, some of those things don't come out until they get into the pressure on a job, and then they don't do it. And then somebody say, oh, no, we don't want that. Don't want that at all. But like you say, you can point them in the right direction. It's up to them to build their own reputation.
Yeah.
And this is something to stay on my mind. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm 68, and I got friends. We all came through the streets. We got third generation drug addicts. Every time I ride down through northern Pennsylvania, when I see the old folks out there, I'm like, somewhere, somehow, they got family members looking at them. Now, we know all family members don't subscribe to it, but some people look at it as an easy way out. And that's another thing we have to do. We got a lot of cleanup in our neighborhood to do is with our relatives. It's not people coming into the neighborhood, with our relatives is out there just doing wrong. Because I think we all got somebody, we don't like to talk about it. We have somebody that's on the do not invite list because of their lifestyle. And we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do as a community. Some relatives, if they knock on the door, I might call the police on them.
And just because how about this? Just because you moved to Randallstown, don't mean that your habits have changed.
It doesn't. And matter of fact, your habits become worse because your living expenses are more. Your rent or your mortgage is more, or whatever the situation is. You can't walk to the corner store like we can. You got to get a longer bus ride. So, and to maintain those houses, just because you got to Randallstown, but you got to maintain that house. You had to paint it every so often. You got to do yard work. You got to make it look pretty. And you can ride through neighborhoods and say, whoa, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't maintain it.
I should write a book called Just Because You Moved to Randallstown. Here's another one. Just because you moved to Randallstown don't mean that you don't go to the PTA meetings.
You should. You should. Ooh. And I've been in a lot of them, don't see nobody in the city. Ooh. And a lot of times parents.
Why'd you move to the county? I moved there for better schools. Better schools.
Better schools, better neighborhoods.
You went to the PTA meetings, right?
Yes. I've been going to them. I don't always see people show up. I don't see people show up.
Owens Mills. What's it called? Deer Park.
Deer Park, Lions Mill Road.
Did you go to the PTA meeting?
Donnie, just remember this. You only going. I'm gonna just use Northern Parkway. You're only going across Northern Parkway when you go to Randallstown. The same schools, the same people. If our child get put out of a Baltimore City school, hey Donnie, you live in Randallstown. Can I use your address to get my child in that school? And you'll give them a shot. And then, like you say, they come without a reference, and you say, "Man, I'm sorry I did that." Or sometimes you say, "Hey, I'm glad I gave him a shot." We're thinking that it's a better education. But Baltimore had a reputation as we had trained the teachers and the counties that would train them. But we're starting to see just as many problems in the county as we see in the city. The people just cross Northern Parkway or Lock Raven Boulevard or which way it is, or down the bottom and down towards Glen Burnie. Same kids, same problems.
I've seen county kids fight harder to get a reputation because they know compared to Baltimore City, Baltimore County is a little softer.
It's a whole lot softer. Where they got their lunch money taken in the city, now they can go in the county and play tough. They can play gangster. You know what I mean? They can act like that next door neighbor did that when they was down the way. You know what I mean? And it ain't always good, but that's how it go. But we're seeing these carjackings. We're seeing the people going more and more to the county. They doing it everywhere.
Named Earl. What was his name? He was down there. He photobombed me before he went. He left now. What's that preacher? Earl Gilliard.
Oh, Gilliard, yeah.
I went to a film out Randallstown. It was a county kid, but he was hanging in the city trying to get that street cred. And he joined the gang out in the county. And Earl Gilliard said at his funeral, "Ain't no need for y'all to cry. Y'all knew what he was doing."
You knew what he did. There were symptoms. There were signs.
Earl Gilliard kept it 100. Reverend Gilliard said, "Y'all know what he was doing. Ain't no need of crying.
Right.
This ain't no surprise."
Right. Might even loan him some money so they can get some clothes so he could look like so he could look the part. Or gave him some money. You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Everything. Kid lived in the county. Nice old home. Lawn.
Grass cut, everything.
But we want to hang out down in the city.
Where we think is real.
Death is real.
Death is real.
You ever been to a morgue?
Yes.
When that body up on that slab, no movement, no blood flow, it's over.
The ball game is over. It's over.
Ain't no I'm sorry, ain't no I shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's called ding, ding.
Dead is dead. Dead is dead. And when that happened, the ball game is over. And then now we're going to try to look for the truth. You know, when I find youngsters, young men that are close to me, they're not doing nothing, I try to get them to go to the military. Why don't you get out the streets of Baltimore and go to the military? Might
as well.
I mean, at least they got an opportunity. That don't mean they'll do great. If they can adjust and just follow some rules, they'll be okay. You know what I mean? I've seen some kids that do real good in the military, but I just do something to get off these mean streets of Baltimore. You know what I mean? These streets of Baltimore don't love them, and they don't realize that. Do something. You know, I was telling them yesterday, those with a degree got a better chance of getting that house in Randallstown, Glen Burnie, Towson, wherever you want it. But if you don't have an education, then you're going to have to stay with mama. And then if mama passed,
When we move to Randallstown and our kids move out, the bar is high. If the kid is going to continue to live in Randallstown, Woodlawn, Owens Mill, the rent is higher.
It is. It might be double. It might be double.
If they're not prepared, they might be living at home longer.
Yeah, or they'll make a U-turn and come right back.
And then here's the other thing. Kids get out to the county and don't want to take the trash out.
Well, that's a lifelong thing. That comes from the parents' discipline at home. Sometimes you have to get in their face, say, you will. Or as the Bible says, thou shalt take the trash out. You're going to do some chores around here. If I got to work, you got to work too. You know what I mean?
Some parents are scared of their children.
Or become friends with them and then can't discipline them. It's a difference between being a friend and being a parent. And like you say, some I'm afraid of them. I used to get bail calls where a young man wants to stick in my mind. He called his mother B. You better get me out of here. And I just told him, say, look, man, my mother's dead. I can't talk to my mother like that. And I hung up on him. I didn't want his business. I don't care how much money they had, how much business it was, because of the disrespect he had for his mother. I didn't want nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? I was like, the heck with you. You just keep on moving. Now, somebody across the street might have got it, but my principles say no. I saw the disrespect up front. Now, and I have questionable sometimes. I don't question people, but he brought it to my face. And because he brought it to my face, no, sir, I don't want to deal with you.
And so let's just clarify, for those that don't know, you are a bail bondsman.
Yes, I am. And I get crazy calls sometimes. You get good children that got in trouble. You get the repeat offenders that get in trouble again and again. You see them leave, go up to the mountains or wherever they sent them, come back and do the same thing and go right back. That part I don't like. I like the part where they had whatever happened. And some of them ask you about a job. Some parents or family will come together, they find them a job, and then whatever happened, then I never hear from them again. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean?
The slickest thing you could ever do is stop being slick.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Now that's slick.
Yeah, yeah. And you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And that means get a job, learn to respect people.
Tony, go on over that jail and play tough Tony.
Yeah. Well, if you go down on the corner, play it, they're going to fix you up down there too. You know what I mean?
Mama B, go ahead down there to the central booking. Let alone Hagerstown, ECI, Jessup, Hagerstown. Go on down there and talk smack.
Yeah. And see,
there's a word in your life. That word say, honor thy father
mother. Yeah.
And thy mother. Honor thy father
and their mother,
that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. And here's the thing to get me, Larry. Larry, they say, oh, not everybody's made for college.
Everybody's not. Everybody's not.
Hold
Everybody's
up, Larry. What's the first thing happen to a teenager when they go over to central booking? Where do they gotta go every day?
They got the youngins got to go to school. I used to have to take records down there.
Okay. So you ain't want to go to school out here when it was free, but you get over that central booking, and the first thing they do is put you in a class.
They put you in a classroom.
Do you see where something? Because even if you're an electrician or a carpenter, you still got to know how to count your money and do your books.
You better learn how to count your money.
Because if you don't, you got somebody else counting your money. And if you can't count, then they probably taking your money.
They're going to beat you.
So I don't get it where we say not everybody's made for college. Everybody is made for college, man. If you can ride a dirt bike up Pennsylvania Avenue with one hand through traffic, I know damn sure you can sit your hind parts in a classroom and learn something. I'm not buying it. I'm sick of the excuses. You still got to count some money. You got to sign your name.
Yes, you do. And see,
and then we say, oh, the Latinos coming to take these jobs. Man, you know our ancestors had to learn to read by candlelight?
But they learned. They
weren't making any excuses. They built colleges.
Yes.
They built churches. They built buildings, homes, institutions. All we got is a lot of excuses. We done got soft. You
got to remember, we from a brilliant people. We built the pyramids. We did a lot of brilliant things.
Let the rappers tell you I come from nothing. Maybe you come from nothing, or maybe you just
Maybe they don't.
family tree.
Maybe nobody ever taught them, or they wasn't paying attention. But they got to realize we have made big contributions all over. You know what I mean?
Of civilization. What you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They've been trying to hide it from us, but I don't know.
Man,
And those rappers,
right there, it's on the smartphone. All you gotta do is pull it up on Google.
you know what? If you anything you want, Google will tell you anything. You know, I see children in school. Somebody say something happened, and everybody whip out their phone and want to see what happened. You know what I mean? To get the details, to get the story for themselves.
So here's some trivia for our young people. Who are the strongest black people in the Western Hemisphere?
In the Western, was it the Moors?
I'm gonna have to send you back to school too. The Western Hemisphere. First of all, we got to know the Western Hemisphere. That means a little knowledge of geography.
Yes. Well, we in the West. We in the West. They call it.
The Western Hemisphere is essentially North America, South America, and the Caribbean. Who are the strongest black people on this side of the world? And why?
Answer that question, Donnie. Help us out. Help me out.
The Haitians.
The Haitians, yes. They catch a lot of trouble, but they fight.
They kicked the French out of Haiti, man.
Yeah. And they've been fighting for a long time.
The second book is not just about our economic power. It was about our willingness to form our own communities. Harriet Tubman got people out of slavery, took them all the way up to Canada, where we established our own communities.
Yes.
Chief John Horse took people out of Florida, out to Oklahoma, down to Mexico. See, our history is so much broader than what the American government would want to teach us. Not all of our people were slaves.
Nope. Nope.
Not all white people were free.
Nope. They were indentured servants. They had a special name for them. But they were in the same. They were just beside us. You know what I mean?
You even had some blacks who owned slaves.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what it is. I expect the more black elected officials we get, the more the educational curriculum will be reflective of the truth of black history. And it's got to be more than Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Harriet Tubman, and Frederick Douglass.
Well, let's look at Henry Parks, Little Willie Adams.
Let's look at schools.
Huh?
Are they teaching our children in schools about Little Willie Adams?
No, they're not. No, they're not. Ray Haysburg. I mean, these are just some names off the top that came out of Baltimore.
And if our educational curriculum is not matching our reality, then who the hell do we have running our schools?
We get people, but yeah.
But
Donnie, when they had wars, what is one of the first things they do? Go destroy the books. One group go after the people, another group go after the books.
The libraries,
they go after the books.
That's what the European did. They tried to knock the nose off the Sphinx. They tried to destroy the libraries in Timbuktu, one of the oldest universities in the world. The Moors, you mentioned, gave Europe their first universities. But because we don't know our history, and because some other idiot is trying to tell us our history, they're going to whitewash it.
And make it theirs. They make it theirs.
The Moors taught the Europeans how to wash their hind parts.
Yeah, because they were having some kind of diseases, and they had to help them out with that.
Plague, bubonic plague, dark ages.
Yes, and this was our people. See,
they'll tell you that the Moors were royalty across Europe
for a long time.
Blacks are in European art, European literature. It was a black man who's the father of Russian literature.
You see what I'm saying?
Alexander Pushkin. But because we don't know our own damn history, we let some other idiot try to tell us, and they just twist the story all up. They got it all wrong. You know, I went to Matthew Henson Elementary School. You know about Matthew Henson?
Explore, yes.
Matthew Henson was the first man to reach the North Pole.
Yes.
They taught us that right down the corner of Baker and Payson at Matthew Henson Elementary School. He was the first man to reach the North Pole. He was with Admiral Robert Perry.
There you go.
He could not continue the journey because he had frostbite.
And Matthew Henson
came out of Calvert County.
Okay. Right here. A lot of people don't talk about, let's talk about over here, Robert Coleman. They don't talk about, he was a blind man. And he advocated for blind people, but he did a great job. That was Robert W. Coleman. This is School 142. See, we have history in our schools, but we don't know. They don't talk about Reginald Lewis.
And these idiots over at the school board are taking the names off of the schools. They took George Kelsey's name off of Sandtown Winchester Academy. What idiot who's so smart took George Kelsey's name off? Somebody that don't know the history of a George Kelsey.
And see, that's what it is.
That's what happens. We have young, dumb people in charge.
And they don't know the history.
I said it, what?
Yes, they don't know the history. And that's not good. You know, and these are our leaders.
Academy. No, it's George Kelson Elementary School.
Right. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about
employed more black people in West Baltimore almost than Willie Adams.
Oh, see, what kind of business did he have?
The funeral business.
Right here in North Avenue? That wasn't his down North Avenue. And
Vernon Bailey,
that was Tucker.
Vernon Bailey Funeral Home. Vernon Bailey took over after George Kelson.
Okay, I didn't know that. But your father, you come from a family that did the funeral homes. Your father was Mr. Glover, was in the funeral business. So you knew that up front, up close, and personal.
And we watched black business take care of black people.
But that's why we had Little Willie Adams and others out there. We had
GoFundMe. Black funeral directors was burying people. They were burying people when people didn't have the money.
Right. And you didn't have to go online. You could go right in the neighborhood, right in the community.
Wasn't no GoFundMe. The black funeral director buried a lot of people who never paid.
But that's okay. But that's the community that we came from.
Yeah, because they got blessed anyway. But a lot of us forget how we got here.
Well, we came here. It was the hard way. We came the hard way. And we ride it.
Might have been the best thing that ever happened for us, because as soon as we move out to Randallstown, we get amnesia. We think we ain't got to fight no more.
Well, you got to fight harder.
One black council, all them black people out Liberty Road, they only got one black council person.
Julian Jones.
They should have at least 2 or 3 black council people out there. But we're not politically astute out Liberty Road. We are slow.
Well, I think they just got, what's the man name? We just got a black judge out there, ladies on orphans court. And it's another man, I met him, a black judge out there. We're getting there slowly, but we need more, a whole lot more. When you figure between Owens Mill, between Reisterstown Road and Baltimore National Pike, the amount of black people that live there, we need much more representation out there.
And I hear people, I don't like Julian Jones. Well, find yourself somebody else and run them for office. Get involved. We done got our Liberty Road and got dumber.
Be comfortable. But see, this is the next problem out there. Where are the food markets? All the food markets on the Reisterstown Road side. They're on the Route 40 side.
More than we got in Baltimore City.
Say that again.
There are more markets in the county than the city.
Yeah, we got right here. We have the Shoppers of Mondawmin.
Oh my
We
God,
got
I'm not buying nothing out of there.
they got the Giants on 31st Street.
I go to Giant.
And then when you go up Route 40, they got rid of that Giant. And the drugstores they're getting rid of. You know, it seems like it's an orchestrated effort.
Those the Wegmans.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have to go out where they designated. You know, the designated areas out there is Reisterstown Road, Owens Mills.
Shoppers done sold me two old pieces of meat. One time too many.
Well, Donnie, if you remember,
is up there, but you ain't got to worry about me ever buying no meat out of Shoppers.
if you remember the old corner stores, the man would take some of that meat and wash it with bleach when it become old, and it'd turn pinkish and sell it to you. So they have all kinds of slick tricks that they do. And you have to sometimes talk to people in there, in the back, that really know. They have all kinds of stuff that they do. And you have to be careful.
Love Shoppers. That's black people. I'm not buying no meat out of Shoppers. It's
Well,
black
I don't
people.
I don't go up there too much. If I go up there, it's something that I absolutely must have. My wife usually go down Glen Burnie or Route 40 or Towson or down towards Rundle Mills and them areas.
There's a place called No Boundaries inside the Avenue Market. Now they only open like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But they got fresh fruits and vegetables in there.
My daughter does the juicing. I don't know where she get them from. I usually, when I go in the market, Avenue Market, I'm just going in there for a couple of chicken wings. Or something like that.
I've seen there, and I've heard about change coming. They got a new lady in there now, and we're gonna see what she's able to do. But a lot more resources should have been poured into the Avenue Market by now. I've heard promises at the promises, and there have been black people who have been at that table, and it's a damn shame.
Didn't they give control of the
some damn fried chicken wings by the Koreans?
Didn't they give control? At one time, didn't Pataracas have control over all the markets?
Baltimore Public Markets, they are in charge of the markets.
I thought Pataracas had a big influence on the markets one time. I thought they.
I don't know, but I know there should be a lot more investment. We didn't heard talk going back to Freddie Gray. Freddie Gray will be 10 years come 2025.
Well, they made a bunch of promises.
Now, I will say, you know who my hero is?
Who's that?
Senator Antonio Hayes.
He's a good man. He's a good man, young man, full of energy.
Not afraid of Penn North. He comes from that area. I know he's a Mason now. I think he might be a Kappa. But
I think he is a Kappa.
Huh?
I think he is a Kappa.
But he is not afraid of his old neighborhood.
No, he's not.
We had a mayor back during Freddie Gray who ain't never walked down North Avenue. And so the old heads tell me, you can't love the people. You can't serve the people. Malcolm X said it. You can't serve the people if you don't love the people.
And that's true. And I think the mayors that was really out and about was Schaefer and Clarence Dewburns. And Jack Young was out and about. But a lot of the ones after him, they wasn't out and about. They wasn't mingling with the people.
If you don't love the people. And you can't go around, you can't come down there to Pennsylvania Avenue and look down your nose at the people and think the rest of us don't peep what you have done. We watch
you from the moment you pull up to the moment you leave. And you're being watched from a lot of different angles. And we compare notes.
I saw one female pull up and say, I can't believe these young girls are doing all of these provocative moves, talking about the marching bands.
Well, that's what they do. That's what they do.
And that person didn't stay there long.
No, that's what they do. That's what the marching bands do today, whether you like it or not. And you got to watch not just Baltimore marching bands, but look at some of them videos coming out of down Louisiana and down there where they got a bunch of them down the bayou. You know what I mean? And look at the colleges.
The little girls are just doing the dances, and I'd rather them participate in the marching band in public than be home, not involved in anything.
There you go. Be involved in something. Build up your
something constructive.
Yes, you got to be. We got to keep them active. And Brenda Allen was.
How many bail calls you get a day?
You get a couple. It's not as many since they changed the laws. They kind of did the kind of gentler. It was the odd couple, Kamala Harris and Rand Paul, at the end of the Obama administration. They said they did the bail reform, and they went all over the country and they did it. And part of the bail.
What has really happened as a result of this so-called bail reform? Has it helped?
Look at the juveniles. Look at the message out there is you can do what you want to do. A lot of people getting their own recon. They let them go. You know, that means come do it again. Shoplifters, you know, they don't bother with them. They have to have a bunch of times. They don't bother with them. And so that means you condone it. But Donnie, if you remember, go back to the 80s when they got tough up in New York. What did we hear? The New York boys, they ran, they came south. And right now, people can do what they want to do. So we're just condoning it. You know, you'll see these little kids, they talk about it all the time. These little kids are stealing cars, get right out and go back. We had an incident over at a school. A child got caught stealing a car, and they took him, processed him, they did whatever he had to do. And they say school got out to 2:30. He got caught. And he got caught, got processed, and he was right back in school on time the next day. And my problem with that is the kids on the fence, when they see this message, ain't nothing happened. Nothing happened. So they're saying the message to the kids on the fence, not the one that you got, but the kids that's watching them saying, hey, go ahead, they ain't gonna do nothing. And these kids don't think, hey, I gotta go to court in a month, 2 months. They don't think like that. No, I got caught and I got out. That's what they think about. You know what I mean? They don't think that long term. And it's sad. But it's true.
Is bail is still the cost that it was before? People got to put up their house 10%. How that work?
It's still the same. Either you put up your house or you pay the bail bondsman 10% of whatever the bail is, and we'll get you out and you got to go to court. If we don't, we go find you and take you to court.
Now, what about if you get locked up and you got some charges that include violence from 10, 20 years ago?
See, I don't know what formula the commissioners use. They look at it, the commissioners, when they get it, and I think it's a state's attorney down Central Booking too, and they'll make a recommendation. And then they'll either give them a bail or they won't. But then at bail review, when it go before a judge, and then they'll look at it again and they'll argue the case, the state's attorney will say yes or no, or the judge will say yes or no. And then they'll do what they want to do. But they told us the bails was going to be cheaper. But if they put them on the box, the home detention, the paid home detention, they end up paying more. Now, sometimes they can get home detention through the state. They can get it a couple of different ways, but they really need to take a look at it. They need to take a look. When they had the hearings, we went down to the hearings. They say, all right, well, if we don't get it right, we come back and look at it. And they kept on moving. They kept on moving. They're not looking.
At bail review, if they say no bail, how long do you sit over the jail before you go to court?
It could be 18 months because, see, they got to go to court and then they get it postponed and then it's out their ways. So it's no exact formula. So people can be over there a year. They can be over there 6 months, 18 months waiting to go to court. It depends on the lawyers and everybody that's involved.
One mistake.
And you got a lot of,
One mistake. It could be a traffic violation, driving on a suspended license. Child support may have taken your license and you don't know it. You ain't checked in. You ain't gone to the place that you used to get mail from.
We get that a lot. But those guys, traffic, they're usually a little gentler on them. They usually let them go. It's the salt.
Yeah,
Sometimes
once you smack somebody, shoot somebody, oh, you in the violence category.
Well, when you shoot somebody, you over central booking at least 18 months. A year to 18 months, you're going to be there for a minute because most of the time you don't get a bail. You got some lawyers can get them a bail, get them on the box, whatever the situation is. But most of them, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere
Without a lawyer.
without a lawyer. But then a lawyer could take them to circuit court and get them a lawyer. Get them a bail. But you gotta have a good lawyer. Just because somebody's a lawyer, don't mean they know their way around the block. You have to get a lawyer that knows. You know what I mean? Because all lawyers don't know.
So this is good information. Like, how can people get in touch with you in case they need a bet? Because hey, listen, tell them, Larry, how we went down there and talked to Boyd Rutherford one day.
What?
I put Miss Orange in for an award.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Let me tell you all this. First time I ever seen something happen. They would give me a problem with the insurance administration, and the man wouldn't meet with us. Donnie called Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford. He said, "Okay, I'll take care of this." He said, "Y'all come down to my office, all of us." We came down, and the man was like this. He was in his net. He was looking at his notes. And that was power. That was the first time I ever seen anything like that. And I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? But he's Boyd Rutherford is a stand-up man. I've met a lot of politicians. We work with him. He didn't ask a lot of questions. He said, "Y'all come down here and we're gonna deal with it. We're gonna right that wrong."
That was a time when the white bail bondsmen were trying to push black bail bondsmen out of the business.
They tried that hard. They tried real hard at that.
Fred Frank, that's his name. That's his name.
Fred Frank. It was Barry. Fred wasn't doing the day-to-day operation, but it was Barry Bryant, his nephew, and he was running bail bonds.
They were causing the black bail bondsmen hell. Michael Haney watching this show. Mike Haney, the bail bondsman, used to keep my show on the air, didn't you, Larry?
Yes, sir. See, Donnie, when you come up in a neighborhood of the experiences that we had, you know what I mean? When you had those experiences, certain things important to us. And what you do is you get the word out. And a lot of people don't know the power of the pen and the mic. And there's certain things that we need. It's certain information that we need out there because the mainstream media will not put everything out that we want out. You can go to, you name any of them. A lot of them places won't do things where you go. Donnie go to parts unknown. You know what I mean? He's not afraid. And that's what I respect about you, Donnie, because you'll say what a lot of them are not allowed to say. You know, some of their editors, their managers won't allow them to say certain things. But Donnie say, "To hell with you all. This is what the truth is, and I'm going to put it out there."
Hey, Larry, what is the scariest part of Baltimore that you have ever been to? Ever?
The scariest part?
The scariest part, and it don't matter what year it was. When did you ever go somewhere you like, oh my God?
Donnie, you get
the second scariest was Palmer Court. I had a cousin that moved up in there, but I'm gonna tell you the scariest part. But you go ahead. I gave you one, Palmer Court.
Those are moments, and okay, you're talking about up there, Park Heights and between Shirley and Oswego.
Back in the cut.
Back in the cut. We used to live up there. They had the ranch up there was a little rough, but I think the scariest parts was down the pit, down there off George Street. Those high-rise buildings before they tore it up.
I thought Murphy Homes was terrifying, but Flag House Projects was the scariest part of Baltimore I ever been in.
Well, you go down there. If you go down there,
on every stairwell, on every level of every stairwell, they had Uzis.
Well, and they wasn't playing, and they will use them. They will use them. They wasn't playing.
It was not a game.
See, you're going back to the Wire days. The Wire is true. Those boys wasn't playing. They had a different structure then. You know what I mean? And some of them boys were really brilliant, but they were violent. They were mean. They were nasty. I understand. I had one of the boys tell me one time, you have to make them understand that if they mess with you, they're going to be laying on the street bleeding. And I think that guy meant that. I didn't try him to see if he did.
Moreland and Baker wasn't a slouch. Because I tell you, more kingpins came out of that neighborhood.
Well,
more kingpins came out of our neighborhood than anywhere in town.
Yeah, well, they start there. They start right there, North and Warwick, we called it, but we knew we started right there, and then we went on. But then you got to remember, it was 3-4 summers ago that they were down there doing a lot of nasty things down there.
Our old neighborhood, got
turned
upside.
They were doing a lot of nasty stuff to people down there.
Yeah.
People getting carried out of there on a regular basis.
Crack cocaine really destroyed the black community in East Baltimore, West Baltimore, Cherry Hill, Park Heights. It really wreaked havoc. A lot of these houses came from the fact that we didn't have a contingency plan. Grandma died. We done moved to Randallstown. We said the hell with grandma's house.
And then the sharks get it. Somebody don't pay the taxes. They don't pay the water bills. And then next you know, they don't do the repairs. And next thing you know, 10 years from now, you ride through and the trees are growing up in the house.
All right, Larry, we got to end on a positive note. What's your aspirations for 2025?
Donnie, mine is to get better, healthy, get a little bit more healthy, a little bit more wiser, be able to set examples for my grandchildren to help them get ahead, right?
How many grandchildren you got?
I got 7 of them. And I just want to see all of them do good, better than me. You know what I mean? I want them to be able to stand on my shoulders.
Any great-grands?
Not yet. The oldest is 17. He's 18.
Is that your wife? Man, Minnie,
yes, here she goes.
Hey, how are you?
For letting us know, Larry, and thank you for all of your support over the years. Thank you, Kel.
I just told him to tell you that I nominated Miss Orange for an award with Zeta, so I'm gonna let you know if she get it because I want you to be there.
Catherine Orange?
Yep. I nominated her for the Woman of the Year in Cultural Arts.
You know that's my heart, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I saw the videos. I was like, I gotta make sure Donnie know about that.
Love me, Miss Orange. That was my teacher up Lamel. Now that was a
okay.
Show. Oh my God! Every day we had to fight up there.
I know. I was part of the fights.
Hey, it was pop or be popped, and I wasn't getting popped.
Me either.
Do unto others before they do it to you, right?
Thomas Avenue boys, that's who I roll to school with. They say you better pop somebody, you better pop them.
Yeah.
Those were the rules. All right, Larry. Any final thoughts? Take your time. Matter of fact, Larry, we should let everybody know that you have some of the most touching prayers every day.
Well, let me give you this, and I hope everybody grasps it. The word says that we will be the head and not the tail. So that means that we will excel in all that we do. Reginald Lewis used to walk with some in his pocket, say, I will be the best. But that goes back to the biblical says, write the vision on the wall. So what we have to do is learn biblical principles, right? Write the vision on the wall. I will excel in 2025. If you want to open a business, you can do that. Just be the best. But just believe in God and believe in yourself, and you can do it. And just remember, you're not going by yourself. So remember those who go with you. You know what I mean?
Like,
right?
Always being there for me and never leaving me out there to dry. And I hope to God I never got to call you from over to jail. But if I do, I will be sending courier by pigeon or however to get the Larry Gaines.
Donnie, if they bar with you, when certain people get the message, they apologize. They say, Mr. Glover, that was a mistake. We didn't mean that.
Thank you for
And that
being politically involved too, because easily you could say I don't care, and I've never heard you say that. I've seen you play Coppin from where you live, and you remember when Coppin looked like a high school.
I remember that. I was down in the youth opportunity out of school program. It wasn't nothing. And I gotta say this.
It wasn't
I gotta say this. No, and that's why we supported Ehrlich. And I can stand, I took some beatings. People was cussing at me and things of that. But I can look at out my door and I can see the dorms, I can see the track, the lights from the track.
Republican, so look, for the Democratic National Committee, you got like 7 white dudes, a white woman, and 1 Latino, including Martin O'Malley, who won ahead the DNC. Not 1 black. I hear they got a black vice president candidate, but Martin O'Malley and about 7 other white guys want to run the DNC. So they talk to us about the Democrats being the party of diversity. Ain't no damn diversity.
No, it's not. Sometimes that DNC don't include color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a big talk, and there's some preachers that support them, that they talk the talk, and they preaching on the pulpit every week. Love thy brother, help thy brother, and they don't do nothing.
Man, I saw this preacher go off. He said Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. Your preacher lying to you.
Well, we get a lot of people to say that.
I'm gonna leave Santa Claus alone.
We'll leave that alone. But listen, Donnie, I got to step out here. Kim is ready to go out the door.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kim.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. All right.
Yes, sir. Do your day and everything will follow. Nothing to it but to do it. I got to do it regardless of how I feel. I am somebody. Y'all hear Pharaoh? I am my brother's keeper. This is where we're going to be Saturday. Check it out. We got a lineup for you. There it is. Black Wall Street Summit 2025.eventbrite.com. Good morning, world.